Hey guys, hope everyone is well. MKS again here. I'll try and keep this video a bit shorter because some of my videos are made quite long, but if people get bored of me. So if you write in the comments, I always say this, but few people ever seem to do, but any feedback about like how long you think an ideal length of video would be or should be. This is my rather quirky idea. I'll say, even though I'm an anti-imperialist, I'm also a big Italian fan, which is a bit of a contradiction, but it's one of the strange quirks about me. And like, I often talk about how I like these patterns and things like that. So, though I'd upload a quick video about, so I've been thinking about it for a while, but about trying to, how I'd love to fundraise to give everyone in Italy a football each. And like try and encourage sponsors. Like, for instance, if this video makes any money in the long term, I will donate that money towards giving everyone, as many people as possible in Italy football each, because like I'm a big Italian fan. So, but probably, well, depending on how many views I get or how much money I get, I'll probably start with some of the poorer people in Italy. But yeah, I'd love to encourage. One of the things I was thinking, like, if I encourage sponsors and encourage as many people from Italy or as many Italian football fans as possible to encourage sponsors and maybe people of Italian descent around the world. I support Italy. I talked about it before in one of my previous videos because I think I look Italian because I said this story before, like when I was in high school, as we say in the UK, like high school goes from the age, or certainly where I was, it goes from the age from about 11 to 14. So, so yeah, I sat on this table in the school library, and someone said, my friend said, "Why?" That this girl was sitting there. He said, "Why are you sitting here?" And she said, "Because I fancy this Italian guy." So I thought, if I look Italian, then after a while I thought I'd support Italy. Anyway, so that's like, after a while I started supporting Italy, and ever since then I've always supported Italy. It wasn't straight away, but after a while I thought I might as well support Italy, and I didn't really know much about the World Cup or the European Cups. But after that I got really into it, like really obsessed with it, and like if Italy would lose, sometimes I'd probably be like crying a little bit. And like when we won in 2006, I say we as an Italian fan, I was like really happy, and I love to encourage my fellow Anglo-Indians especially to be Italian football fans and like to unite together Mediterranean countries by football, like to help Italy and Spain and France and countries like that to get on better and help each other practice. But like I've got ideas that I want to share. I'd love to go to Italy and share many of my ideas, some of them which I'm not sure which ones to share or not. But I'd love to help Italians to get as much practice as possible and encourage as many people from Italy as possible to practice for at least an hour a day or something like that. And like to encourage politicians and the government to like say make Italian football proud again and stuff like that. Because at one point Italian football was like one of the top, or like probably second to Brazil, but now it's gone down the rankings. So I think that's I'd really love to help Italians practice, and like I've got ideas like about Italians improving diplomacy with the rest of the world through football, like other countries helping it. I've got some quirky ideas like Italy helping India like politically or in business, and in return, like if they support India's economy, then not sure if this will work or not, but it's like a dream of mine. So I suppose I might dream, but in return, like Indians to help Italy practice and like build back the pride of Italian football, where it was a top league, but maybe even convince people in Italy like to put the football team first. But obviously, you need to have enough money to live on and things like that. So obviously, there are other areas that are important too. But I have this quirky thing where I like to keep it interesting, if you like. I like to support different countries for different things. When it comes to football, I support Italy, but when it comes to finance or economics, I support like countries in Africa and Asia, indigenous people and stuff like that. I love to unite together indigenous people from Africa Australasia, or Oceania, whatever you prefer to call it, the Americas and Asia. But anyway, I've gone a bit off track. But yeah, so I loved it. Going back to the Italy thing, I love to encourage sponsors to sponsor Italian football, like big companies like Lucozade or Red Bull, Coke, or companies like that, to sponsor Italian football, sponsor football pitches, training facilities for the youth, 5-a-side pitches, 6-a-side pitches. If you know anything about football or soccer, if you prefer for Americans or whichever you prefer, you'll probably know something what I'm talking about. But yeah, like to sponsor football pitches and things like that. As I say, I'll make some videos like this, like from these specific ones where I talk about football as much as possible. Generally speaking, the money I raise from it, if this video ever gets enough views to make profit, to make enough money on, I'll donate that money to Italian football to help train up young people in Italy in football. As I say, buy football pitches, footballs, or like for my American friends, soccer or whatever, and yeah, so sport youth development and things like that. And like, I love the story. Like, as I say, for anyone who's into soccer, if you like, or football, whichever you prefer. As I say, with my patterns, I'm calling it soccer because it's Sunday. And that's a weird little thing I do. But for anyone who knows about that stuff, they will know. Unfortunately, Italy failed to qualify for the last World Cup last year, and which was really upsetting, obviously. But I love it if we had the story like Italy won the next 3 World Cups or something in a row. So that's like I think that'd be a really cool story, like rising from like a phoenix from the ashes. Like, but we support the youth development and practice. Italians practice enough to make football, as they hashtag make Italian football proud again. Like fundraise for football pitches and things like that. So I think that would be really cool. I lost my train of thought, but as usual. Yeah, so I'd love to hear what people think about that idea. I say I tried not to make this video too long, so it's actually, I was going to make it 10 minutes long, but it's actually looks like it's going to be under that much. And now I'm going to try and probably do a bit of writing, and then, but yeah, in the future I'd love to make the video ASAP. I'd love to make hashtag make Italian football proud again and stuff like that. And yeah, just encourage people of Italian descent as well to support, and Anglo-Indians as well, to support Italian football. Anglo-Indians United for Italian football and things like that. So I'd love to encourage that idea, like Anglo-Indians to practice playing football with Italians, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun as well, which is the main thing, I suppose. But I'd also like to win. That's probably even more important. And some of our videos, like about football, will be raising funds for Celtic. So anyway, I think I'll wrap this video up, and hopefully someone out there enjoyed it. If you know anyone from Italy or any Italian football fans, please share this video. And if I remember, all being well, I'll share this video with Italian fans around the world, and possibly Anglo-Indians as well. Peace and love.